With the sheriff of the county, please.
Meeting with who?
The sheriff.
And who are you?
Joshua Hickman. My constitutional rights were just violated inside the courthouse, and I'd like to file a formal complaint.
Okay, well, we got a formal complaint here.
He is in a meeting right now and won't be available. Let me get your, do you have a cell phone number you can call?
Yep.
Okay, let's get that. Yeah.
Hi, Mike. Mike Norris. He's back there ignoring me. He's a great man.
All right. I would also have you fill this out. It's just basically your incident.
Okay, well, I have video documentation of all of it.
Okay, and you can definitely state that.
All
right.
Is there a sergeant at least that I could speak to, or a corporal, or somebody higher than the court people?
Let me get your name and phone number.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Here's his name and phone number, and I've just given him one of these, and this is Sergeant Looney.
Hi, Dan Looney. How are you doing today, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
Okay. My issue today...
And if you're recording me, you better be telling me because it's against the law.
You're a public official in a public domain with no right to with no expected right to privacy. The Supreme Court ruled that.
You still have to tell me that. You have to tell whoever you're recording. So are you recording?
I am audio recording.
All right. Go on.
Okay, I was in the courthouse, standing there doing nothing but recording my son's transaction, when your officer came up and demanded that I stop recording for my son's protection, because today it's already been 3 times, and now there's a warrant issued for his arrest for something that an officer made a mistake on.
Well, you're going to have to tell me more about the incident.
Okay, he received a ticket for failure to maintain the duties of a driver on the citation, which I have a copy of with me, both in black and white and in color. At the bottom of that citation, it says that he is to be in court at the North Bend Municipal Courthouse at 9 p.m. on today.
It actually says 9 a.m.
9 a.m. I'm sorry, sir. I said p.m. I do apologize about that. That was my mistake. Okay, so we go to the North Bend Courthouse this morning where he's told there's been a warrant issued for his arrest due to the fact that apparently the district attorney's office sent him a letter, but they sent it to West Virginia Avenue, which there is not one in this county, and it's not where he lives, so he never received it.
Okay.
So we were just here, I'm just here trying to make sure that his rights aren't being violated once again.
Okay.
I mean,
all right. So, what does that have to do with your being upset and down?
Because I was just standing there recording my son. He gave me permission to record him. Okay?
In the court.
Where is it posted, and what's the ORS that says that nobody can record inside a courthouse?
I ask you a question. In the courts?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In the courts, it's up to the judge.
Okay, the judge said nothing. And nowhere in this courthouse, on the external or internal of that courthouse, does there ever once state that video recording or audio recording is not allowed by the public. I do understand that I cannot open carry or concealed carry in the courthouse because the sign on the door does say no firearms allowed in the courthouse other than official use. And I respect that. But when you can't have a firearm to protect yourself, this is a great means of doing so.
Okay.
And that's all we were doing, is protecting our rights.
From what?
From being violated by men in costumes with guns.
Okay.
I'm not trying to offend you, sir, but this is a long-standing issue here.
No, you don't understand. You're not offending me, so...
Well, but I'm trying to be decent to you, sir, and I apologize that if I come off upset with you, but I'm really not. Your officer walked up to me in the courtroom, in the courthouse, demanded that I shut off my camera without reason, and then stated that I didn't have the right to record a public official in a public space. And it's been documented through the Supreme Court that public officials in a public space do not have the presumptive right to privacy because you are a public official. So when you're acting on behalf of the public, for the good of the public, why can't I record you? You record me every time a cop car pulls up or every time I walk inside your building. So you have ammunition that you can use against me, but I have nothing to refute that. Okay. This is my defense.
Okay. Defense to what?
To my constitutional rights being violated just like they were by your officer in that courthouse, who demanded that I leave the courthouse and trespass me for video recording.
Okay.
Now, I came down here to try to deal with you guys instead of contacting a civil rights attorney and going in that direction with this.
No, I would do what you want to do. You can fill out this.
And what good is that going to do me, sir?
Well, then we look into it, but I'll look into it anyway.
And I respect that. I really do. And I already told Mr. Shields outside that, and I told him, I said, and I do respect him because he took the time to stand there and actually conversate with me. Mm-hmm. And even though he didn't give me any information, like the actual ORS that states it, or anywhere else on the outside of this building that says no video or audio recording permitted.
Okay.
So I still don't understand where I was in violation of a law.
Like I said, the courtrooms are up to the judge.
And I understand that. If Judge Barron had said...
But even if the judge doesn't specifically say something to you, he may have said something to the court folks.
Okay, and I understand that, but that's not what your officer came to me and said, sir. He said, you are in a courthouse. You are not allowed to record. That's all he said. And is the courthouse still a public domain owned by the public, the people of this county?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But you came about this. I think we're sort of off track.
Yeah, but this is the reason, and it's because they've already violated his rights twice today. They're saying they've issued a warrant to kidnap him, even though he complied with this and never received any other notifications from the courts.
He got a warrant for a traffic.
They issued a warrant this morning for his arrest for not appearing in court at 8:30. Apparently that's cleared up now, but he still has to go over and check into the jail.
You're going to have to talk to the courts about that part.
And I understand that. That's fine. We're willing to comply with those orders at this point. Okay. My issue is why I was harassed and attacked inside the courthouse by one of the officers.
Well, you do realize you're kind of going a little overboard. You weren't attacked.
But, sir, can I really, because you know what?
No, answer that. Were you attacked?
My rights were attacked.
Were you physically attacked?
But see, that's depending on how a person feels about the situation, sure. If I feared for my safety, if I feared that I could have been kidnapped and held political prisoner inside this county, is that not a fear that has happened in this United States of America more than one time in recent history? Where our government has the right to kidnap any person they want and hold them indefinitely?
And you're right, that is not a fear.
Okay, and it's people that are out every day, sir, fighting for what's left of our constitutional rights and trying to make sure that these don't disappear.
And that's great. Nope, that's the thing to do.
And that's all I'm trying to do. And your officers...
They're not against you?
Huh?
The officers are not against you. You do understand that, don't you?
I certainly do, sir. But when you're given reasonable information and you're asked a question, what is the ORS stating that I cannot record inside a public courthouse or a public official who the Supreme Court's already ruled has no presumable privacy in a public space when they're acting in official duty?
Okay.
So him
understand.
demanding me to shut this off and threatening to have me trespass from the property and not allowed back in a county courthouse, that's absurd.
Okay, and you do understand whether you're in a public building or not, you have to tell people you are recording.
Not public officials, sir. Public officials are public servants and do not have the same presumptive
I
right.
understand you have to tell them. And it's an easy thing to do. Just tell folks, I'm recording you. That's no biggie.
Okay, but it still doesn't, it's still not illegal, sir. Because if there's two people in a conversation, only one person who's actively engaged in that conversation has to be known that they're recorded.
That is incorrect.
Under what law, sir?
Under Oregon law.
What ORS?
You know, I don't have the book right now. I can get the book. I can look it up. I'm not going to. But what you are talking about, and you are correct in one portion, are telephones. You can call somebody, and as long as one person knows, in Oregon, don't do it in Washington, by the way, because you can't. But in Oregon, one person knows, you can record it.
Okay.
But not in a conversation like this.
But you're a public official, sir.
No, you said two people.
Okay.
Only one needs to know.
Okay.
That's incorrect.
But is everybody who works in that courthouse a public official?
Has to know.
Is everybody who works in your courthouse a public official paid by the people of this county?
Okay.
Yes or no?
We really are done with this. We're going.
Okay, so I need to carry it up further to the state level and then to a civil lawsuit?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
No